Well, I'm Cash,
I'm Monica.
I'm Nova.
and this is Anxious at Bedtime.
Thank you for joining us after our little week hiatus. We're sorry for that, but we're back, baby. And here is episode 2 to Bigfoot.
Welcome to Bigfoot Part 2. Um, so last week we left off, or well, I guess 2 weeks ago, we left off at a possible explanations and theories. So let's get into the scientific view. Spoiler alert, though, some of these scientists are real Debbie Downers for Bigfoot believers. Most expert opinions are that allegations of Bigfoot's existence is not credible. Many believe it's all hoaxes, confusion, or delusion, with no real sightings of a genuine Bigfoot creature. In a USA Today article from 1996, Washington State zoologist John Crane said, "There is no such thing as Bigfoot. No data other than material that's clearly been fabricated has ever been presented." The author of a review article says, in their personal opinion, it is impossible to even consider cryptozoology a science if it continues to consider Bigfoot real. Scientists also believe survival for such a creature would be dang near impossible due to climate and food supply issues. All recognized non-human apes are found in the tropics of Africa and Asia. So to the scientists, him being here, where he's been reported more than 10,000 times, is considered unusual and unlikely. Great ape fossils have not been found in America, and no known Bigfoot remains have been found either. A cultural anthropologist named Philip Stevens summarized the scientific consensus, saying it defies all logic that there is a population of these things sufficient enough to keep them going. What it takes to maintain any species, especially a long-lived species, is having a breeding population. That requires a substantial number spread out over a fairly wide area where they can find sufficient food and shelter to keep hidden from all the investigators. This next lady, though, knows what's up.
I understand the scientific side of it, but I feel like it's such a silly argument to be like, well, we haven't found remains of one, or we don't have like super valid proof, like foolproof proof. But at the same time, like scientists are discovering new species of stuff all the time. And they're
For
discovering
real.
like even things that they thought were extinct and discovering them again and be like, oh, they're still around. So it's crazy to me to just be like, we haven't seen it, so it's definitely not real. Like, how can you say that?
Right?
I don't know. I'm just
It's all a cover up.
open-minded until we find out for sure.
Ditto.
Until scientists can be like, we've explored every single corner of this world and we have not found a Bigfoot, then I'll be like, okay, there's no Bigfoot. But until then,
I would need them to document the entire thing.
yeah,
Ain't nobody lying to me.
yeah, exactly.
So in 2002, oh, I forgot how to Google how to pronounce this word. But primatologist Jane Goodall was asked for her personal opinion on Bigfoot, to which she answered, "Well, now, you will be amazed when I tell you that I'm sure that they exist. I'm a romantic, so I always wanted them to exist. Of course, the big criticism of all of this is, where is the body? Why isn't there a body? I can't answer that, and maybe they don't exist, but I want them to." She was again asked 10 years later in 2012 by the Huffington Post, to which she responded, "I'm fascinated and would actually love them to exist. Of course, it's strange that there has never been a single authentic hide or hair of the Bigfoot, but I've read all the accounts." And see, she's open-minded.
I like that she is like, yeah, exactly. I'm not a scientist or anything, but I don't think we can discredit something like as a, I don't know. But I just don't understand how we can fully discredit something as existing, especially something that has like, what's the word? People have said that they have seen him. And sure, there have been a few times that there have been hoaxes, and there have been times that it's been like pranks and stuff like that. But still, there are people that have said they've seen him. And how could so many people say that they've experienced the same thing and every single person is wrong?
And the U.S. government is saying Like there's things that they don't know what it is. It's not of any human origin, and the beings that they're uncovering are not of any human origin that they know of.
Mm-hmm.
So, it could be simple as an alien, could be a fucking Sam Squanch.
Yeah. And I understand from a scientific point of view wanting to see a body, but I don't know. There could be reasons why we don't see bodies too. Maybe they freaking curl up in the ocean when they die, and their loved ones like send them off. Or maybe Cash is right, and maybe they're vampires and they live forever. And like, who knows? I know both of those are pretty far fetched, but still,
What if they just turn into trees and that's where the redwoods came from? That'd be crazy.
that would be crazy. It's not even redwoods, it's just like their bones and
Right.
the pine needles and all of that type of stuff is just their fur that's all matted and falling apart.
Yeah, the bark that's like the red flaky is just their fur.
Gross.
The next time you're hugging a redwood or a sequoia, you might be grabbing a Bigfoot's dick.
Oh, good gravy.
Squeezing some dead Sasquatch cheek.
Harry and the Hendersons means something else now.
All right, any more comments?
I don't think so.
Darren Naish, paleontologist and author, stated in an article in 2016 that if Bigfoot existed, an abundance of evidence would also exist that cannot be found anywhere today, making the existence of such a creature exceedingly unlikely. Now, let's get into the juicy stuff. There are still some scientific views and even some formal studies that have been done, but I want to get into the crazy stuff. If you would like us to do a Bigfoot Part 3 to hear about that stuff, though, please email us and we'll get to it. Depending on who you ask, claims about the characteristics and origin of Bigfoot varies heavily. Bigfoot researcher and member of, and I am so sorry if I butcher this pronunciation, Kwakwaka tribe, Thomas Seward said they're just the other tribe. They're just big, hairy humans with nocturnal vision that choose not to have weapons or fire or permanent shelters. Now, this is where it gets a little wild, though. The subject of Bigfoot has also crossed with other paranormal topics. Some believe Bigfoot, aliens, and UFOs are related. Some also think he could be psychic and has mind controlling powers. Others believe he can shapeshift or is able to cross into different dimensions.
I like that idea.
Right?
See, I was talking about that alien and non-human entity that the government's talking about.
Yeah.
Alien,
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot.
Maybe it's a different species of aliens too. We have the Greys and I don't remember all of them, but I learned them on Resident Alien.
Yeah, same.
But maybe he's a different species because the aliens are always said to be like really tall too, right? So maybe.
Except the Greys.
Oh yeah.
I hear they're just assholes.
Yeah. Probing booties. Lots of people think that regardless what he's capable of, he is just completely supernatural in origin. There are also loads of conspiracy theories tying Bigfoot to government cover ups. There are also lots of claims holding Bigfoot responsible for more destructive stuff, like vehicle accidents, vandalizing property, delaying construction, being responsible for the disappearances of people in the wilderness, and even killing people. In 2022, a man from Oklahoma claimed he killed his friend because he believed he had summoned Bigfoot and was going to be sacrificed to the creature.
That's terrifying.
Right?
Yeah, if you could summon a Bigfoot, I think a lot more people would be doing that shit.
Oh,
Right.
that's fair.
Now let's discuss some of these real quick. I feel like if he was some form of alien or could jump dimensions, I feel like that could easily explain why we can never find hard evidence on him. Unless we have, and the government hides it all from us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck, they even denied the existence of aliens to us for how long?
Exactly.
Just to somewhat recently come out and finally acknowledge and confirm them. How long until they do the same with Bigfoot? My money's on 2026 or 2032.
Mm-hmm. I hope. That'd be so cool.
I don't know why it's those dates, but I feel like it's gonna be soon. Now let's go back to how Bigfoot could possibly tie to aliens. Some people resort seeing Bigfoot beamed up into UFOs.
Hmm.
Whether he's an alien himself or was abducted, I'm not too sure. But some people do believe he could be an alien from another planet or another dimension, which could explain how he never seems to have be found or captured. Maybe he has some form of quick transportation like portals too, like we don't know.
Yeah, I could see that.
Cloaking device or something.
Yeah.
What about that?
And I know to the listeners that a lot of this is a little far-fetched, but just keep an open mind. Again, people used to not believe in aliens, but even the government confirmed their existence. And let's talk about the shapeshifting part too. If he doesn't use portals or UFOs, shapeshifting kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe he can transform into deer or moose. It could also be explained to for some of the confusion people may get. Like maybe say a hunter is out in the woods and sees a Bigfoot. He gets into position to shoot him or at least get a better look at him through a scope. But say while he was adjusting, he stepped on a twig or made some sort of noise that alerted Bigfoot, and then bam, now he's a deer. Or hell, even maybe a tree, who knows?
A redwood.
Right, yeah. Leaving the hunter questioning his sanity and eyesight. Now let's get into 11 crazy Bigfoot conspiracies from an article from 2015 on The Week. Number 1, Melba S. Ketchum. I wonder if she's related to Ash.
She is.
Pokemon joke.
She is the one that originally caught him. In essence, she caught them all.
A veterinarian claimed not only did she have Sasquatch DNA, but also did a test on it, supposedly revealing he is part human.
Hold on. See? And that's why she went and had Ash go catch all these fucking Pokemon. She got a Sam Squanch and she's like, there's more of these other weird things out there. Let's go, Ash. Got it.
Okay.
That explains so much. She insisted that the government needs to recognize them as indigenous people and to immediately protect their human and constitutional rights, and that they deserve U.S. citizenship.
All right.
I know that one was like, go off, sis.
What if they are not American?
That's all I'll say on that.
Yeah. And then number 2, if you listened to part 1 the other week, this location might ring a bell. After the eruption in 1980, the government supposedly secretly removed burnt Bigfoot corpses from Mount St. Helens. Following the disaster, several witnesses reported seeing federal helicopters carrying off charred remains of several Bigfoot creatures. There's another story that's pretty similar that I'll get into at the end.
Holy cow.
Right?
You said erection.
That's what you were waiting for? Good Lord.
I didn't. I said eruption.
That could be misconstrued too. Moving on.
Number 3, some people believe Bigfoot is actually a caveman. In 2007, a man named Robert Wilson claimed to have seen what he thought was a bear. He said, I drove down and saw what I could only describe as a large, hairy man who looked caveman-like, with sort of Neanderthal features, as big as a bear easily. In 2011, a History Channel documentary proposed that Sasquatch might not be a giant ape, but instead could be a species of prehistoric human.
Say prehistoric women.
Human.
Human.
Oh, I was like, that's fucking rude.
That'd be wild though. I haven't heard that before.
Right. Okay. Number 4. As previously stated, Bigfoot could be an alien. In 1973, Stan Gordon, a UFO researcher, said he noticed an increase in sightings reporting seeing Bigfoot creatures entering and leaving UFOs. Gordon became so fascinated by that possibility that he actually set up a UFO Bigfoot hotline, which I'm pretty sure is still actually up and running to this day.
Oh, wow. I kind of want to call the hotline. No, but nobody would answer, I don't think.
You never know. Number 5. Some people believe Bigfoot could actually be surviving giant ground sloths.
For what?
Yeah. I feel like there is a huge distinction between sloths and Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Number 6. This one is straight up wild in my opinion. I'm gonna be pretty quick about it. But apparently some very few farmers have reported that Bigfoot fucked their cows.
Oh
He did what
no.
now?
I'm choosing to not believe that.
Right? Me too.
Like they just walked out and saw the Bigfoot just banging a cow.
Oh
Yep,
my gosh. I didn't even think about. Oh.
basically.
Oh, I hope that
That'd be
one's not real.
wild, dude. I
Me
haven't seen
too.
one of those videos.
I'm glad I haven't.
Ditto. Number 7. Some people believe the giants briefly mentioned in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, were actually Sasquatches.
Oh shit.
Right?
Was that David and Goliath?
That's not in Genesis.
That's why I asked.
This one's kind of funny. Number 8. Lauren Coleman, a cryptozoologist, believes that similar to human numbers at the time, at least 10% of Sasquatches might be gay.
Oh. And that could be why they struggle. No, hold on. Genuinely, that could be why they struggle to find like the reproduction stuff that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Maybe they have really long lifespans and they don't reproduce offspring.
that'd be so wild,
I don't hate the idea of that.
right? Number 9. Now, this one to me, I could kind of actually see being real. A question many have is why don't we ever find any remains? The answer could be simple. Similar to elephants and humans, maybe they simply bury their dead. Being how huge and elusive they are, they probably bury them very deep too.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they just cremate them.
Yeah,
Like, we don't know.
that makes sense. Exactly. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they had some sort of like ritual for their dead. Because it's not just a human thing either. Like you said, elephants, there are different animals that kind of do different things to like honor their dead a
Yeah,
little bit. Or even it's gross, but even some animals will eat their dead to survive off them. And it could be something like that too.
roasted Sasquatch on a stick.
Yeah, I'd have to believe that before I believe that they just get buried hella deep. Because I mean, they get buried in the middle of the woods because that's where the Sam Squanches live and shit. But they're digging so many different pipes, different
Mm-hmm.
like tubes under the ground through the forestry. Like they're digging trenches through the forestry. Like, you would at least see them having one of these ritualistic ceremonies,
That's
if not dug up part of a body from like how, they they discovered dinosaur bones, and those were buried under feet and feet and feet of ashes.
what if they're smart or not even smart, but just like I don't know. What if they bury them, but only in like the national parks that they're not digging stuff like that? Even if it's not them consciously being like, oh, they don't go there, like humans don't go there, let's bury our dead there. What if just for whatever reason they bury their dead there and it just works out for them that they haven't been found?
Ooh, or what if the Bigfoot that like the Bigfoot creatures that they see beamed up into UFOs are the dead ones,
Oh, they beam up that would be wild.
right?
And like we're gonna have a funeral on the ship. Peace out.
Wait. I have another theory. What if the Bigfoots that are here on Earth, they really are aliens, but the ones that are here are sent here because it's like prison?
Suckers.
Like this is where you send the bad ones.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10. In 1999, the government captured a live, injured Bigfoot from Battle Mountain, Nevada during a huge fire. And this is actually the story I'm going to get into after the last fact. Number 11. Bigfoot calls have apparently been recorded and could easily be mimicked. So you could be hearing, I forgot to do my Bigfoot call. Damn it.
I don't think I've ever heard that. That would startle me though. If I was walking through the woods and heard, I forgot to do my Bigfoot call, I'd be like, what the fuck? Who is that?
That'd be scary. Is it somebody that was like, oh, I forgot I wanted to imitate Bigfoot? Or is it Bigfoot that's like, oh, I forgot to scare them like Bigfoot?
That'd be so funny. I wanted to do that at the beginning of the episode. Darn.
Do it now.
I don't even have it with me. Maybe we could do it at the end of the episode.
It's like a
That's
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca. No,
Could
Bigfoot's
they not
like,
be the same thing?
There you go.
Isn't that the fucking sound that Dory made in Finding Nemo?
if you can do a better Bigfoot, do it.
I'm Bigfoot.
If any of our fans listening want to show us their Bigfoot call, do so on TikTok.
Yes. I want to hear your Bigfoot.
Do a
Friggin-
stitch. Do a stitch with our videos.
And if you get a Bigfoot to respond and come on this podcast, you get all the credit.
All the credit.
I don't even know how to finish number 11. It's like,
I don't
I
know.
did that.
I'm sorry we interrupted
No,
with our
I
calls.
loved it. But so the last sentence basically is just so you could be hearing Bigfoot calls or some fanatic trying to contact him,
That's fair. How do you know?
right? And then there was also this video clipping of a guy who was like hunting Bigfoot. He was like on a talk show being interviewed, and he did a Bigfoot call, and he was like, "Yeah, that's what it sounds like." And the people were just like, "Oh, okay, wow, crazy."
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
It's like I've never seen one, but I know what it sounds like. It sounds like this.
Yeah.
That's like what is it? I think it's dinosaurs. We have no way of knowing what they sounded like, but they make up the sounds. I like that.
Just imagining a T-Rex clucking viciously.
That'd be
The
fun.
angriest rooster.
Its real growl is ah.
All right, now the story I promised we'd get into. I found a story written by someone that goes by the name Sean on a Bigfoot evidence blog posted in 2011. The story Sean tells about is from 1999, from the Battle Mountain fire in Nevada. But it was also circulating the internet in 2004. The original author was a science teacher named Tom Powell. The person that reached out to him was an anonymous government employee. Said employee alerted the BFRO about a 7.5-foot tall burn victim with multiple burns on hands, feet, legs, and body, some second degree and some third degree. The two communicated via email and over a collect call about the encounter for over an hour. The anonymous man was under orders to not disclose any information, but after seeing the creature firsthand, he knew he needed to get the story out there to let people know whether they believed him or not. While talking, the two referred to the creature as the patient. It happened early afternoon. About 20 firefighters were directly involved. The injured patient wandered within sight of the crew. Surrounded, he surrendered. He basically just gave up due to his injuries, which were pretty serious and covering about half of his body. Medical services shortly arrived, one of them being a vet who was shocked at how human-like the creature was. Its body was too long for their spine board and stretcher. One of the people working on him was a young Native American woman, and he seemed to respond more to her. The patient was removed from the scene in the back of a utility truck instead of an ambulance to avoid alerting locals or news reporters so that they wouldn't see the creature or assume it had been an injured firefighter. From the first spotting to taking him away was about 3 hours. No one really knows where he was taken. There was a fire commander present who recorded what he saw, but the video was most likely confiscated. Nobody was allowed to take any DNA from the site. The anonymous man reported the body was covered in shaggy, brownish hair about 2 inches long in a natural odor which he had a hard time describing. The head was about 2 times the size of a human head, with which he believes was brown eyes, and said that the creature was strong-jawed and had lips and ears that were very human-like. He had requested to go back to the site to try sneaking some DNA, but wasn't able to due to the fires. After they had been more controlled, he did return, but the whole area had been bulldozed, ruining any chance of him finding any evidence. Pretty damn convenient, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
3 years later, Powell tried emailing the anonymous man again and got a response. He said the patient was taken to an undisclosed university or hospital and then supposedly released.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
I will say though, picturing a Bigfoot with human ears hurts my tummy for some reason. Like that's a scary image.
Is it at least like cauliflower ears, like boxers? Like they're a little swollen and weird looking? Or are they just like, I got kind of little ears. What if it's like mine? That's weird.
What if it's like a normal human's ears on the 2 times bigger than human head? You know? Like a Mr. Potato Head and then little ears.
Just these tiny little
Yeah.
things. But he did say too that the lobes were like attached to the head, not like hanging like a lot of people's are.
Well, some people's ears are attached or lobes. I think Cash's are attached to his head, aren't they?
No, I got earlobes that
Oh.
dangle. Don't fucking don't at me like that.
I'm sorry. His earlobes dangle.
Mine too.
Yeah, same.
Meetings were held about the creature, and an affidavit was signed. Um, so basically, like they would have meetings about what to do with the creature and like how to handle the situation and stuff. And they said that like if anyone were to come forward and like talk about it, that they could serve jail time, they could lose all of their military benefits, all of their retirement, like everything.
That's insane.
I'm sure that's how it was for any discovery. Like even the alien ones, remember?
Mm,
They weren't disclosing any of that. Now
probably.
it's a little bit more.
I wonder if now people are allowed to talk about it then since the government talked about it.
I hope so. That'd be awesome. I'm just waiting for them to confirm it already.
Mm-hmm.
After that, Powell was left with many questions and the strong belief that Bigfoot does indeed exist and that the government knows it and hides it. Powell has 6 possible reasons for why, like why the government hides it.
Yeah.
Number one, government paternalism. They don't believe we can handle that kind of information, so they shield it from us.
I hate that excuse.
I know, right? Like, look at how well we did with aliens. We were just like, yeah, we knew it.
Yeah. Literally, like most of what I heard people talking about was like, yeah, duh. Like nobody was like, oh my God. Nothing. It was just like, yeah,
They were like, "Look, we forced you to tell us because we stormed alien or area 20,
Bruh.
51.
They were like, "Look, we forced you to tell us because we stormed Area 51 to clap them alien cheeks." Like, bro, some cheeks were getting clapped. You didn't want to tell us about the aliens. It was gonna be yours. Like, I'm pretty sure they could handle it.
Yeah, exactly.
For real. And then number two, keeping mysteries classified. Maybe even the government is just as confused and baffled as anyone would be. And that's why they keep it secret, is because they're like, we don't know what the fuck's happening. Like, we don't want to just blindly
Mm,
tell people about it.
maybe. I like that answer better because then it feels like they're not trying to hide stuff from us, but they're just like, I don't know what that is. Like, how do you want us to explain it if we don't know?
Yeah, for real. But love of secrets. Maybe it makes them feel important and validates their jobs to keep big secrets.
Mm, maybe.
Because they're like, this is our whole identity. Like, if we don't keep secrets, what are we here for?
Yeah.
Number four, endangered species argument. Maybe people would try halting all timber removal as a whole to preserve the Bigfoot's home. Or maybe the complete opposite. Maybe it would lead people to tear down all the trees and hunt the creatures down as well.
I don't think so. I think maybe like in the 50s, that's a valid fear. But I think in 2024, people would just be like,
Right?
ugh, we fucking knew it. Or like maybe putting themselves in danger to go get pictures for or videos for TikTok or something.
Yeah, oh god, though. And then number 5, national defense. We don't really know exactly what these creatures are capable of. According to Powell, some researchers that he has encountered and talked to claim that Bigfoot creatures have a sixth sense. They can also project an overpowering foul smell to ward people off.
That's what I keep hearing.
It says that their senses are more heightened than ours and stuff too. And plus, it's a 7 to X number foot tall creature. That's pretty damn strong.
Mm-hmm.
But so they think that could be another part too. Um, and then number 6 is genetic research. Maybe they just want to first fully understand exactly what or who Bigfoot is, how he came about, his ancestors, his lineage, his whole genetic makeup, like before they confirm his identity and whatnot.
See, and I could understand that, except for the fact that when the government said like, yeah, there's shit in the sky that we don't know where it's from or who it is, we consider it an identified flying object. They were very clear about the fact
Mhm.
that we don't know for sure if it's aliens. We don't know where it's coming from. We don't know any of the origin of this stuff, but it's weird. So I don't see them being like holding off on saying, well, there could be a Bigfoot, but we don't know anything about it yet because, like I said, they're pretty clear about being like, we don't know anything about the aliens.
For real, exactly. And then this last little bit. So Tom Powell's bleak conclusion is how tragic, yet how predictable is it that the government denies the public access to knowledge of a living human relative, an anthropological bombshell, and one of the planet's most remarkable beings.
Yeah.
So this basically concludes Bigfoot Part 2. What do you believe?
Well, I believe in Bigfoot.
Ditto. Very much so.
Like I said, it's one of those things. I it goes for everything really, but there are so many stories and so many encounters. One of them has to be real. Not every single person is lying. What do you think, honey?
I think that there's a possibility of it being real. I think that there's, I mean, I don't know about if it's aliens, if it's an ancient society. There's a lot of theories. I don't know what it is, but I think that people are seeing something absolutely, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
there's too many people seeing the same kind of shit
Mhm.
to just explain it away like you're all tripping.
Right? Especially with well over 10,000 reported sightings. And those are just the
Mm-hmm.
ones that have been reported.
Yeah, that's a lot of sightings.
Could just be the little bit of Oregonian in me, but I have to believe in Bigfoot a little bit.
Maybe.
But and even those 10,000 reported sightings, it still doesn't cover the who knows how many numbers throughout centuries.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's
Exactly.
crazy?
It's just crazy.
Maybe, just maybe, you guys ever heard of the deodorant Dr. Squatch and the soap Dr. Squatch?
Yes.
Maybe that's those motherfuckers going, "Hey man, we've been in hiding so long. We need to actually get a fucking business. Like let's get some money and get in this game." They did the fucking Jack Links for a while, dude.
Yeah.
So maybe those are really the Sasquatches trying to actually be actors, trying to do some shit with their lives, trying to come into play.
It's the like, yeah, ha, we're Sasquatches, you know?
Yeah. Like, ha, ha, ha. No,
Ha,
we're really, they're easing it in. They're easing into it.
easing it in,
Yeah.
yeah.
In the beef jerky commercials.
But you don't have to worry about people looking behind the curtain if you don't put the curtain up.
Don't know what that means.
Yep.
Like, you
I
don't have to worry
understood.
about, okay, like, you don't have to worry about people finding out Bigfoot's real if you're like, hey, buy our Bigfoot deodorant.
Well, all I know is I always keep my curtains closed. I'm a private person.
Damn, though, inflation's so bad that even Bigfoot is making companies.
Oh no.
He's like, I can't get my stank glands to stank too good anymore. I need to fucking make some money to get my shit going right. They're charging rent out in the fucking redwood forest and shit. He's getting broke.
Oh no.
Okay, Cupid. And the bitch is like, bro, you're broke. Go get some dollars.
So you're saying you think Sasquatch is branching out and starting businesses because he's trying to do online dating?
I'm not saying that's what I think, but people have some weird fucking ideas, dude. I could throw some out there.
Maybe he's using the money to repair his UFO so he can go home.
Oh, maybe.
It's like I need fucking 18.3 more million dollars so I can get this one part to put on my ship. My GoFundMe ain't going right. Um, people aren't following my TikTok, so I'm not qualifying. Can you guys buy my deodorant and soap? I know I'm a stanky fucker, but you don't have to be. Also, eat Jack Link's.
And we do.
Shout out Jack Link's beef jerky and Dr. Squatch.
Please sponsor us.
But that is a crazy story about the anonymous guy.
Right? And like, ooh, so if any of our listeners want to like dive deeper into that, because like it was pretty damn long. And I was just like summing it up, but you should definitely go check it out. It's a really good read.
Andy Reid's also a good read. Shout out Coach Reed.
Just all the shout outs, one
All the
episode.
shout outs, one episode.
All right. Thank you so much, listeners. That was part 2, Bigfoot.
You're welcome.
If you want a part 3, you know what to do.
Definitely if you want part 3, let us know. We might just do it anyway because I'm very interested.
Same.
I think it's fun. So yeah, I'm down for a 3.
Yeah. Um, I have no idea what is coming next week because we have a hectic schedule coming up for a while. But we should be releasing episodes. Not even gonna put dates this time because Lord knows when, but we should be releasing episodes, one episode a week.
Thank you guys for listening.
If you like this podcast, please let us know. Rate, review, comment. If there's something that you would like us to cover on the podcast, email it to us. If you or somebody you know has had an encounter with anything paranormal, send us your story at
Podcast.
anxious@bedtimepodcast@gmail.com and we will read it on the podcast. You can follow our TikTok, Anxious at Bedtime, or our Instagram, Anxious at Bedtime. I'm too tired to be doing this right now, so I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think that's everything. I'm way too tired for all this too.
Thank you for listening. Remember, the world might be a scary place with things like big feet in them, but we're probably fine.
We're probably fine.
We're probably fine.
We're probably fine.
Sleep tight.